I am always trying to get this lighting right. It's ridiculous in here. Sorry. Oh man. Hi guys, it's Diana from DianaMarchand.com. I am just waiting to see if someone else gets on. So I'm just gonna wait a couple seconds here. It's an odd time. I have a online meeting kind of thing, and then I got a client call, so on early. But who's here? Hi Laura, how you doing? Okay, what I wanted to talk about was, so last night, I guess I posted it on my Women Creating Healthy Lives Facebook page. Hi Lisa. I posted last night a little blurb on my Women Creating Healthy Lives Facebook page because I had attended a talk on from a lady. She's a cancer researcher. She has a master's in nutrition, and she also is a holistic nutritionist now. So she is, believe me, this lady knows about cancer and about health. It's unbelievable. And she's has her master's in biology too. So anyways, long family lineup of scientists and stuff. So it was just really interesting because she was talking, of course, about health, but she was kind of talking a lot more about cancer and about kind of the causes of it and what happens right down to the cell, right within the cell, the contributing factors. And so yesterday I came home and I was really passionate about, refueled my passion on health and how important it is. And so I posted, like I said, in my Women Creating Healthy Lives, a blurb, like my passionate blurb. If you're not part of that community, go join there and just read it. I got some good comments because it was just like, oh my God, I got to change the world. You know, you want to reach out and change so many people. Hi, Gazella. After hearing this talk from this lady who knows so much about cancer, right? And the causes, and right down to the cellular level, and how everything affects us, and what helps and the things that doesn't. And it was just so mind-blowing. But so I talked about, of course, it's health, it's about its nutrients. It's really about feeding the cell, the nutrient, which I always talk about, right? I talk about the nutrients in the food, right? We're talking the phytonutrients, which are the plant nutrients that are contained in whole foods, really good whole foods. It's not just about taking synthetic vitamins and stuff that aren't, because of all the, let's say an apple has something like 10,000 or 40,000 nutrients in it that work synergistically. So when a vitamin kind of takes parts out of it, like the vitamin C or whatever, and manufactures it in a lab, it's not really the same thing because everything kind of needs to work together. So when we eat our plants, when we eat the food in their whole form, we're getting the fiber, plus we're getting all the things that they're discovering now that are all working together in whole foods that really give the health benefits, right? Of the thing that really are what our cells, our bodies are meant to have, need to have, and thrive on. Sorry, take off some of my stuff. I was outside for a walk. But also, so of course, I always preach about the food and eating and all that, which of course, but another thing is stress. She went into how crucial and how important stress is, and how that can just destroy your health and cancer and everything. And that was, I kind of know this stuff, and I really like I've mentioned a couple times, I believe stress is our next epidemic that we have to worry about because it's affecting pretty much everybody here in North America. Every woman I talk to is always so stressed. There's so much to do. They have so much to do, right? And we don't realize, we're not educated on how stress affects your body, how it affects the cells, how it affects your immune system. It lowers your immune system. It blunts hormone production. It totally affects your digestive system. It, of course, because of all the cortisol, it starts secreting, right? Then it drains your adrenal glands, which in turn can affect your thyroid glands, which of course affects your thymus or your hypothalamus. I'm trying to learn all this. But it is so interesting. So it can shut down every system of your body. And it affects every single organ of your body. Stress, we know that, right? Heart, stroke, all of that. Those are things that we probably think of, but all the other things that affects. The fact that it lowers your immune system makes you more susceptible to illness, disease, to bacteria growth, to everything, right? Stress and negative energy can also cause toxins within the body, so lead to a toxic body. Like it affects your digestion, and your digestive system is so important because what you eat is absorbed in your digestive system. That's where it absorbs the nutrients. So if your digestive system isn't working properly, your body is not able to absorb the nutrients properly from the food you're eating. If you're eating the good food, right? It can't absorb those nutrients, so then you're not getting the nutrients you need for every cell in your body to thrive, right? And so we need, of course, our immune system, our white blood cells, to be working properly so that they can fight illness, disease. She mentioned that most of us probably all have some sort of cancer thing in our body, but it doesn't get turned on. Whereas with some people, it gets turned on like a switch, and so all of a sudden. But what happens is because it's unhealthy cells. So our cells in our body, when they don't work properly, right? When they're not fed the right nutrients, when there's too many toxins screwing up the chemicals in our body, the cells can't work properly, and so they can't, for one, fight and kill cancerous cells. They get confused. They don't know the difference. Cancerous cells breed, cancerous cells grow. When cancerous tumor gets to a certain size, it's really extracting all the nutrients from the body. It's pulling in a lot of nutrients and growing and growing and growing. And another thing she said, I'm just reading this. Oh, don't have my glasses on. Incredible. So even if you can yes, Gazelle, even if you are eating right. And you guys have probably heard those cases where, well, so-and-so died of cancer and she was eating so perfect, right? She was eating so good. But there are so many other reasons, right? Like stress is one. If someone worries a lot, if someone's unhappy, stressed a lot. So often, like there's like a type C, they say a type C person now. We have your A and you have your B. There's actually a book, I think, called Type C, which is for the people who tend to get cancer and what their traits and characteristics are. And I think it's kind of like a sign, like people who like I believe it's, our health is truly mind, body, spirit, truly mind, body, spirit. So if we got our health, like our eating really under control, but we have stressors in our life that we're not taking care of. And it could be stressors that, like some trauma that we faced as a child, or when we were young, or when we were growing up, or maybe something in our environment now, a husband, a family member, something that's really traumatic, really stressful, that continually eats away at us. And that's what we say, right? We say, this is eating away at me, and it actually is. The stress, the tension, all of that negative stuff, it eats away at your body. It basically changes things within your body. Your body can't work properly, and you cannot fight off the illness and disease, and things get screwed up, turned on, and the cancer can start to grow. So stress, handling your stress, handling the problems. It's crazy, and we just look at some societies, like in North America, we're just so screwed up, right? Because we just think that it's like strive, work, go, never give up, work really hard, get up early, work through the day, don't eat properly. And people are so stressed, and they're so under a lot of stress and tension. And for women, like definitely if you look at what is in the age of someone who gets breast cancer, right? And it's almost always in middle age, almost always. And I talk about in my workshops that women are already going through a very stressful time in their life in middle age, because really it's a time when you're either further in your career, or you have this home, maybe you have kids in university, so they're still at home, so now you're trying to work full time, you're trying to take care of your family, you've got parents who are maybe aging and who are ailing, and so you're trying to take care of your parents, and you're driving all over the place, maybe you have a long commute, so your days are extremely long, you're not sleeping enough. Plus you also have all those changes that are going on in your body, right? All of a sudden the hormonal changes because of perimenopause. So you throw all that into the mix. Your body goes from like stressed already to like overload. Now when your ovaries produce less estrogen, they rely on your adrenal glands to begin to produce the estrogen. So your adrenal glands are things that give off the cortisol when you're stressed. So your adrenal glands, if you're already stressed, your adrenal glands are working overtime already. So when they're asked to produce more estrogen because your ovaries aren't producing as much, that means that's an extra huge full-time job for your adrenal glands. Well, they're already working a full-time job. So they're like, oh my God, I can't handle anymore. So they start to slow down, shut down, and you get adrenal fatigue, which is exhaustion. You feel tired, exhausted, like, oh my God, I cannot do anything. What happened? That's your adrenal glands bonking out because they cannot handle everything that they're supposed to handle all the time. So adrenal glands will affect your thyroid. So then it's so common for women in middle age to get thyroid problems. Regular doctor doesn't really diagnose it because their tests are not as specific as they need to be. So then you go to your doctor and he says, no, you seem fine. I don't know what it is. Maybe you need antidepressants. Maybe you need some sort of drug to help you, right? And this is the vicious cycle we go on, right? So one of the most important things you can do, yes, eating healthy is very, very important. It is also, though, handling the stress in your life. Hi, Colleen. Quote of never. Oh my God, I wish I had my glasses on, Colleen. I'm going to read your quote after. Yeah, I think you're saying never give up or something. Anyways, I'll read that after. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Isn't that crazy? I wish I had them on. I need to see. But it was just really eye-opening, and it's fueled my passion for doing what I'm doing, definitely, because I just think that too many people in North America and too many women are just caught up in this vicious cycle and caught up in, I need to do, I can't, I'm not doing enough, there's so much I have to do, I don't have enough time, yet I got to work full time for this and for that and for this, and because you have this home, because you have this yard, because you have these cars, because you have these mortgages, and on, and it's crazy. It's crazy. And the thing is, so a few years ago, I sold everything. I have a car. And I live in a house because it's my boyfriend's home. But thanks for those likes. But the thing is that you got to realize sometime that you need to change your life, right? Because if you are at that point in your life where you're like, this is all too much, I can't handle it anymore, I think I'm going crazy, I don't know what to do, then why are we so afraid? I know, why are we so afraid to change our life? Why are women so afraid to say, you know what, we got to let go of this shit that's in our life that's not serving me anymore? If the home you live in is too big and you got yard work and you got gardens and you got this and you got that and you're working full time and you're trying to help your family, you're trying to help your ailing parents, you still got kids at home, it's too much for you, right? But you take it all on and because you think you need to. I think that's the old way of thinking, but you got to remember that women 50 to 100 years ago didn't work. And their kids left the house. Like, 18 years old, right? I left at 19. 19, I left my house. So nowadays we're dealing with kids in their 20s living at home. We're dealing with aging parents and trying to help them. Now Alzheimer's is at an all-time high. There's many reasons for that. So we're dealing with that, and we're dealing with working full-time still, most people, and long commutes, busy traffic jams, demanding bosses, high prices of everything, maybe lower wages. So the women it's just too much stress. And like I said, stress leads to illness and disease. What I heard last night at the presentation was, wow. People need to know this. We need to wake up. We need to change our lives. People are so afraid of let going of physical things, And it's so funny because I'm like, don't you want a life? Like, to me, I can let go. I always have been able to let go of physical things if they're weighing me down and causing me, thank you, causing me to have less of a quality of life. So my value, it's also about knowing your values. Yeah, it's also knowing your values. For me, my top core values are freedom, health, and joy. So I really encourage you to think of your top values. Health, you would think my value number one is health, but it's actually freedom. I don't like to be tied down. I like to do what I want in good ways. Obviously, I love to encourage good health. I love to help people, right? So for me, I want the freedom of choice to do what I love to do. And so, of course, I don't want to have a huge home with a big mortgage that I have to pay for. I don't want a big fancy car that I have to have all the, I mean, maybe if I had like an abundance of money and that was just extras, but I probably wouldn't. I'd be living in Bali right now, which is the absolute truth. But I want a life that's filled with freedom, health, and joy. And so I choose every day. I make decisions every day, and I make choices every day that are contributing to that for me. And I think that not enough people do that. I have had aging parents. I have had a whole bunch of things too. Problems with family that I've had to go and help out with. I've had extreme sadness in my life, a really bad tragedy. And, you know, it all makes you just think, you know, I know that I want to live the life that I'm meant to live, and that is right for me. And I'm not going to get stuck in this bullshit that everybody's got to be working to death and to live till you retire, and then when you retire you get a chance to live, when lots of times you hear that those people end up dying or with some illness or disease anyways when I don't want to do that. We need to live our life now. We need to live our life now. And we need to live in a way that in the future we can also live a life that is really important to us. And it's also loving what you do. You know, when I go to networking, I'm on a wild tangent here. When I go to network meetings with women who are doing their own business, even little businesses, right? They're happy, they're fulfilled, they're excited about the future because they have something that fuels them. They have something that they're passionate about. They have something that they love to do. That is also another way of staying youthful, of staying happy, of staying healthy, of staying all of that. It's really about looking at your life in the mind, body, and spirit. Like, how are you working every day? What are you doing every day to feed yourself? And the most important thing, too, is to teach your kids, to be an example, right? To show them that this is what life should be about, you know? What are your top 3 values? Make sure those are in your life every single day. Make sure you're doing something every single day that brings in one of those, that brings in all of those values, really. Freedom, for me, health, and joy every day. I work on healthy food, drinking healthy things. Of course, I have other things too, but I really focus on my health. Every day, I do something that brings me joy every single day. Every single day. Pretty much every day. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And then for freedom, well, obviously I'm let go of a lot of stuff in my life, so I have the freedom to live the way I want to live. That's a choice. Now, some women would look at me and go, how can you not have stuff? How can you not have like tons of clothes or lots of boots? But you know, that's just because that's not what I cherish, right? I just choose to want something else. But everybody's, do what makes you happy. Don't compare. Yeah, I don't judge anybody. It's whatever makes you happy. But thanks, you guys. This is such a fantastic live stream. One of the best I've had. I guess because my energy right now is so passionate and strong about women waking up, getting rid of the shit in your life that doesn't serve you, doing what you love to do, standing up for yourself, your health, realizing that you don't have to put up with all this stress, that you can begin to shift and change your life. You can. Doesn't mean you have to give up people. It doesn't mean you have to leave your marriage. It doesn't mean you have to leave your kids. It's all about, because when you do things for yourself, when you really start to live a life that you are more happy with, for one, you're more happy. So the people around you are like, right on, she's happy. This is great. As well as you're an example about living a healthy, happy life, right? And you're showing others it's possible. It's possible. And let's do this. If every single person took care of themselves really well and chose to do what made them happy, healthy, and really focused on that, on being the best they can be, what a great world we could be. Instead of feeling you need to give up everything yourself to make other people around you happy, they need to make themselves happy. Seriously. You guys, we can help aging parents, we can help everybody, but you also have to take care of yourself, because you have to be an example to everybody else too, that they need to take care of themselves. They are responsible. We're all responsible for our health and happiness. And if we all took that responsibility really seriously and did everything we could, what a different world we would have, right? What a different world. So anybody who's in Nanaimo and around here, I'm going to do a one-day workshop that is going to deal with a whole bunch of stuff. Definitely the food. We're going to talk a lot about mindset too, as in we're going to go into the mind, body, spirit of living a healthy life. And that's going to be in Nanaimo in November, probably middle to end of November. So I'm going to be talking more about that. Just because I think we need hours to talk about this. We need hours for some shifts and changes. And we're going to sit down and really have you guys map out your own plan for your life too, which is going to be so super cool. But that's my plan. Thank you guys for listening and contributing. I'm going to read all your wonderful comments. How they want to live. Yes, Gazelle. I know you're living, Gazelle. You are an example of someone living passionately and living the life you were meant to live and you want to live. So I commend you. And Colleen, thank you so much. And Naomi, I know you were here too. Anyways, have a wonderful evening, you guys. Take care of your health and make sure you're part of my community, Women Creating Healthy Lives. Take care. I love you guys. Bye-bye.